Welcome back, Gear Geeks, to the GearGeek channel here on YouTube, bringing to you a quick piece of gear that I've been looking for quite a while and finally found a solution that I was very excited about and wanted to bring it to you here today. So without further ado, let's get into the quick review of the Fortius Arms KeyBiner. So this review, I'm going to go ahead and just review the KeyBiner itself real quickly. Just show you some of the features that I like about it, and some things, just kind of the pros and cons. Then I'm going to get into the second half of the video on how I use this, how I integrate this into my system, how I came to this conclusion. And so that's kind of the flow of this video here. So I'm going to give you the overview first. So if that's all you're interested in, great. I'm going to ask you guys, please do me a favor. Go ahead and right now click that subscribe button. And the reason why I asked that of you is because your engagement is what gives me the motivation to put more videos out. I'm trying to crank out about 2 to 3 videos every week. I've got a bunch of stuff from bags. I just put out an EDC philosophy video the other day. You should definitely check out. I've got a review coming up here on the Glock 29, and actually my Ruger LCR is another one I got coming up here. I've got reviews on some Maxpedition gear. I've got a couple of philosophy videos I think will definitely interest you, and so clicking that subscribe button is definitely going to be a way for me to know that you want me to crank out more videos faster. And the more engagement I get here on YouTube, the more money I'm going to be sinking into this project. I've got some great visions of what I want to see coming out of this video, but I will say that you guys make it possible just because your engagement provides me with the motivation, knowing that you're excited about this stuff. So go ahead and do that. It costs you nothing. And so it doesn't hurt. And at the end of the video, if you like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, put a comment down there, be part of the conversation. Let me know how you use your keys. But let's go ahead and talk about the Fortius Arms KeyBiner here. Enough about helping me out. Let me help you guys out. So first of all, you can get this at getkeybiner.com. The price on there, I believe, and I maybe should have looked this up. I'll put this in the comments eventually, how much this was shipped to me, but I believe it's like 32, 33, 34 bucks, something like that. And that to me was the cheapest option I could find. There's other options like KeyBar is another great option. And basically what a KeyBar is just imagine your key keeper being that, having no carabiner portion to it. I believe it has like a little tab you incorporate into the Swiss Army knife style deployment for the additional keys to be kept. So as far as this one goes, some of the features I like about it, I like that it's got a little mini pry bar here. I've been contemplating for quite a while. It's been in my Amazon kind of wish list for a long time, the Gerber shard. And I just have not been able to pull the trigger on getting it because I just don't like adding a bunch of stuff to my keys. I like keeping it simple, and so the fact that that had a built-in little kind of mini pry bar. Now this is made of aluminum. I'm not going to be cranking a bunch open with it, but I do like the amount of leverage you get holding this in your hand. You have a little jimping on the side here for a little traction. It also has some hex wrenches built in that I'm probably never going to use. To me, that wasn't a feature that was really that important to me. The thing I do like about it is that it lightens it up. Not that aluminum's that heavy, but if you can shave off a couple ounces here and there, never hurts. There's also a bottle opener built in here, and I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not a big fan of the bottle opener. The reason why is because you can't actually get the lip in under the bottle cap because the keys are in the way, unless you open up and take all the keys kind of in its open condition. And then you have access to, to be able to put the bottle cap there. And to be honest, that to me is just more of a pain in the butt than I'm willing to do. I used my pocket knife. If you've watched my EDC video, I've got a Cutco cutlery, which I'm going to have a review out on this thing. This thing is my favorite pocket knife I've ever owned. Cutco cutlery makes phenomenal stuff. Anyway, that's a whole different deal. Anyway, so I use that as my bottle opener. So to me, that's not a big deal. But if you're really looking for a bottle opener, this is not a good one. Fortius Arms, if you end up watching this, you clearly make really high quality stuff. And I could see how on the drawing board when you're in CAD designing this, this would look like a great little feature to add right there until you actually put it together and realize that that the keys are in the way. So I don't know, maybe put it up in the top here. Of course, you're losing the strength and rigidity that this has, prying on a bottle cap. So again, I don't know that that's necessarily even the best place for it, but so that would be my one suggestion. Put it there, try it out, see if it works with a bunch of keys on there. You know, go through the process of designing and engineering that. For me, if you want to just use this, you could just use the pry bar to pry off your bottle caps. If you know how to use like a lighter or something like that, I know a lot of people use, this would work just fine for that. So anyway, that's you know, it's a pretty straightforward item. One other thing I will say is it's got you know, a nice little hook there so that the spring clip fits in there perfectly. I'll show you why in a second here when talking about the philosophy of why I think that's an important feature. I know it's a small thing, but definitely one that I appreciate. I believe this might be for something else. I can't remember what it was. Go to their website and check out, you know, all the features and benefits. GetKeyBiner.com, and then on the back here you can see it comes with little instructions on how to install this, how it's meant to go together, and here's what it comes with. It does come with some spacer washers as well as 3 different length screws to be able to put in there, and each of the screws has a little bit of Loctite on there, some white Loctite. So I've had this for about a month now and haven't had any issues on screws backing out or loosening up. It's the exact same tension I left it at. So far so good. Obviously, if anything changes, I'll come up with an alternative review, but if nothing really changes, then I'll go ahead and just keep this video the way that it is. Let's go ahead and talk about the philosophy here of why I came to this conclusion, what I was looking for, and how I use this, just to give you some ideas of how to integrate something like this into your personal system as well. So let's take a look. I just recently did a video on my philosophies on EDC, and one thing that I did was I just showed a bunch of my gear, showed my on-body carry. The system I use for on-body carry is these TacLite Pros you see here. I really like them for lots of different reasons. Each thing that some people say is pointless, you know, this little pocket here, the cell phone pocket, a lot of people have criticized and all that. I love them, and they integrate into my system beautifully. One of the things I also love is having this little D-ring here for keys. As you can see, this is how I keep them. And what I like about this is that all I need to do to find my keys is I just grab a hold right here and pull them out, and they come right out, and I have quick, easy access to them. And so that's kind of how I use the KeyBiner system, and that's why I have the the smaller black KeyBiner, or keeper rather, and I don't really use this guy. This is a little too big. It doesn't actually fit in my pocket, so I prefer to have kind of a couple links that slips them down to the side of my pocket there. So that's why you see the length on there. I could trim it up in size, but I actually prefer this system. So my system before was basically you know, a bunch of keys. Pretend the KeyBiner's not there. It was just a bunch of loose keys, and my car keys were actually hooked onto this S-Biner. I think this company is called Night Eyes. This is an S-Biner of theirs. This is kind of their key keeper. I can't remember what they call this, and it comes with a bunch of these different multiple colors, so you can kind of organize them. The problem with these is that they're plastic and they're cheap, and they break right at the point where these little metal parts, the spring clips, go into the housing there. So anyway, those break real quickly. I ended up upgrading, or what I thought was an upgrade, to these S-Biners. What I found with these is that there's no notch, you know, cut out in the you know, in the hook here. And so what would end up happening is these would get hooked onto different things and then fall. They would actually come off of the keeper, and it would get like latched on to various materials. You know, if I was sitting in my car, I'd stand up and it'd just come right out. And so what I found is that this was not a great system because it kept falling off because there was no little retention spot for that spring clip to go into. So that was one of the reasons I said it's nice to have a little kind of cutout here, and obviously this guy has a little cutout as well. And so that's kind of my philosophy of how I use these. Clip this on. These are my keepers, and you know, I don't access the keys too often. I've got a spare key for my getting in my house that's you know, in like a little hide a key area. That's what I usually use for getting into my house. The rest of the keys on here I've got for parents, in-laws, stuff like that, mailbox. I got two different gun locks on here, safe locks, and so those guys, didn't fit. This guy didn't fit inside here. That's one thing that you won't be able to fit. If it's not flat, it won't fit in. These guys will fit, by the way. I think I mentioned that already, but these will fit. I just preferred not to have them in here. You would have to drill a little extra hole to be able to fit the screw in there, but anyway, so that's pretty much my 2 cents on the Fortius Arms KeyBiner. For the money, I think it's the best key organizer that you can find out there. It's got more functions than some of the other ones available, and yet it's cheaper. So you really can't go wrong with that. Also, Fortius Arms appears to have some phenomenal firearm altering surfaces available. You might want to check them out for that as well. I know I would love to get my Glock slide altered by them, maybe even a little grip modification. But anyway, that'll be another video and another day. So for now, this is the GearGeek signing off. Thanks so much for your time, effort, and energy. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment on what it is that you would do with your keys, if they or what you use for your system. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate your time. This is the GearGeek signing off. Have a good one, you guys.